welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do something that kind of spiraled off of my previous video, the one before this, where I did a kind of like a fan summary of one of my favorite movies, and I just decided now that I was gonna do something that I like. I'm gonna continue doing videos like this. So for this week's video, I am going to talk about conspiracies, or like urban legends. Are they one and the same? I don't even know. I'm going to focus on Disney, the world of Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, Walt Disney, and I'm gonna open your eyes to things that you probably have never heard of or never realized, and it's gonna get a little creepy. So if you see me getting a little like weirded out, I just need a second to process it, because some of these things still freak me out to this day. I've been to Disney before and I will never look at it the same ever again. Basically, I'm just gonna create a Disney inspired look. I'm gonna go for kind of like Cinderella's castle or something around that. So I'm gonna use those colors and just explain some of these urban legends, myths, conspiracy theories surrounding this billion-trillion-dollar franchise and this company while I do that. So let us begin. If you've ever been to Disney World, Disneyland, when you first walk in, okay, you walk pretty much into Main Street. Now, this is like where all the shops are, and if you keep going like all the way down, you'll see like Cinderella's castle and the whole shebang. It's like where the magical experience happens pretty much. When you walk onto Main Street, you get this like overpowering like smell of like 80 different things, and it could be like saltwater taffy, it could be fresh cookies, it could be coffee. And it's as you keep like going down the street, as you reach different points on like the little boardwalk area, the smell matches the shops and what they're selling inside the shops. And Disney does this as a sort of mind control over their guests. So they have these things called smellitizers or smellitzers. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's one or the other. They're kind of like AC or like fans that pump certain scents into the air to make you go into the shops or make you crave something. And your brain is like, oh, I smell those cookies, I want some cookies. Or oh my gosh, that saltwater taffy smells so good, and especially it's hot, oh, we should go get some saltwater taffy. Like, they're not dumb. Buy your stuff, you want it, your brain's telling you that smells so good, like go get it. Yeah, these fans that are like so prominent in Disney, and it's not only on Main Street, it's actually built into the majority of their attractions. So if you go on Pirates of the Caribbean, you'll smell like the salt water, you'll smell like gunpowder, I believe. So you can have like a full immersive kind of experience and really feel like you're in that like moment and in that like scenario, according to whatever ride you're on. When I went to Animal Kingdom this past February to celebrate my birthday, I went to Animal Kingdom and I experienced the world of Pandora. So that's Avatar, if you guys aren't aware. I went on their like #1 attraction. It's called Flight of Passage, and you get on the ride and it's like you're smelling everything. If it's not from like the soil of the earth to like the saltiness of like the water and like the flowers, and like it was insane. You really thought that you were like in like the world, like the Avatar world. It was crazy. Anyway, moving on. Continue talking about Main Street, because there's some stuff that be going on in Magic Kingdom, okay? Let me tell you. Now, if you've been to Magic Kingdom and you've seen this firehouse, you might have noticed that at the top of the firehouse, there is a window. Now, that window is actually Walt Disney and his family's apartment when he was alive. He would stay there with his family, so he didn't have to keep leaving the park and going home and coming back and traveling and doing all that. So he had that apartment built up for him and his family to stay in, okay? Once Walt unfortunately died, he left this lamp on in the window that overlooked the firehouse and the entirety of Main Street. A woman who was said to be cleaning Walt's apartment following his death said that she had seen the light that was turned on and decided to just turn it off since no one was going to be on the premises anymore. She said, why does it need to be on? I'm just going to turn it off. So she turned it off. And then she realized that a few moments later, she had come back to that window and saw that the light had been turned back on. There have been multiple scenarios where this has happened. So cast members just decided to leave it on and just say it was in memory of Walt and that he was still here with them. A lot of people claim to see the curtains moving in the window where the light is on, and also that they've seen like a shadowy figure looming in the background where the lamp is. Now, I don't know if that's entirely true, but if it is, people say that it is Walt, you know, making sure everything's running smoothly and it is staying the happiest place on earth. Okay, cute. Next is the instance of people being wild and bringing ashes to the Disney parks. You have someone who had recently passed on. Don't bring them to a goddamn amusement park and empty their ashes on a ride. Oh my God, that, first of all, that is so unsanitary. People are known to do this, okay? And Disney cast members or the employees have apparently a special code to deal with this situation when it happens or if it happens. So they're now trained apparently to know how to handle situations like this if it comes to that. And the two main attractions that are like famous for people dumping ashes on is the Pirates of the Caribbean ride and the Haunted Mansion ride. And due to this, people have stated that they see crazy things happening because people are just dumping human remains in these rides. Guests have claimed that they've seen spirits on the rides, as well as cast members claiming that part of the rides systems malfunction often, or things are moved where they aren't supposed to be and oddly placed, and people are like, I didn't touch this, nor did I move this. Where is this coming from? Don't know. Kind of creepy. There is also a guest who claims that she saw a little boy on the Haunted Mansion ride and that she had heard him crying. And it is found out that the little boy who she had saw crying is one of the people. Their parents dumped the damn ashes in the ride. So apparently his soul is locked there. Maybe he didn't want to be in the Haunted Mansion. Maybe he didn't want to be in Disney World. Like, okay, and going off ghosts haunting these rides. Now, there have been speculation that spirits ride the rides at Disney along with some of the guests, or they just simply hang out and just be like, this is my house, you people are visiting, so I get to do what I please, pretty much. These spirits, okay, depending on the ride, do different things. So first, I just want to talk about Space Mountain. There is this ghost that many refer to as the one-way ghost, one-way man. I think, sorry if I messed that up to all the Disney enthusiasts out there. This ghost was a man who had rode the Space Mountain ride in the early, I believe, 70s. I think it was 74. It was fairly early in the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, it was said that he had died on the ride because he had stood up when the ride was moving and he was decapitated. Not sure why you would stand up on a roller coaster. It's kind of stupid. Don't want to say you had it coming for you, but anyway, it is said that he haunts that ride and gets on with single riders. So if you're a single rider riding Space Mountain, expect this man to sit next to you on the ride. Don't ride the ride alone. He's described as, you know, having red hair and having a reddish kind of face, okay? And this ghost or spirit was actually caught on camera, and it's kind of creepy. You guys can look it up. You can obviously see like some spirit sitting next to this empty, sitting in an empty seat next to this guy. It's kind of creepy, kind of crazy. Going back to the Haunted Mansion, when the Haunted Mansion first opened up, Walt Disney wanted it to be like crazy scary because it's a haunted mansion. The first few riders that rode it like said that it was like crazy scary, and a man actually had a heart attack on the ride and died. So after that, Walt Disney was like, we need to dim this down. Like, this man just died on this ride of a heart attack, and yeah, we can't do that no more. So they had to dim it down. And in 2014, I think it was like in the 2000s, can't remember the exact date. I think it was 2014, don't quote me on that. This girl, she had underlying health conditions. She went on the ride, and I believe that it was a little bit too much for her, and she too passed away. It is said that a lot of people don't really like getting on the ride because it creeps them out. There's an eerie feeling that you just can't shake when you get on the ride, and you feel like everything is not fake or an animatronic. You don't gotta tell me twice. I can skip that ride when I go to Disney World. It ain't nothing to me. I'm just saying. So It's a Small World is a children's themed ride, and it features hundreds of little animatronic dolls that sing that very scary song, It's a Small World, while you ride on a little boat through the little river. Now, employees has, oh child, listen to me. I'm already getting the chills. Employees have said that this ride is haunted, and all they had to say was it was haunted, and I was like, I believe you. Like, you don't even have to give me no backstory. Like, honey, I believe you. Members have said that the ride goes on in the nighttime when the park is closed or dolls move to places where they're not supposed to be. And it's like, who in their right mind is gonna go on this ride and just move dolls just for fun? Not I. Not I, honey. So I believe that, okay? And I know that there was another little like story going around pertaining to this ride. I believe it was a creepypasta, but it's still like, honey, I wouldn't be surprised if this happened. Apparently a woman and her kids went on this ride, and she was taking pictures, and it was at the ending of the day. So the ride was beginning to close. The park was about to close, so they got on the It's a Small World ride. Like, you couldn't miss it, honey. Like, now I know she wishes she never went on that ride. Anyway, oh my god, my camera, I just got to use up all the film. I only have a little bit left, so you know what, I'm just gonna go ham and take the pictures, all the pictures that I can on this It's a Small World ride. She gets them developed only to find this nonsense on these photos. Ooh, child, I'm getting the chills, let me tell you. She sees a doll or a small child being strung from the ceiling, and it's just dangling. When I tell you, you would never catch me in Disney ever again if I ever saw something like that. I don't care if it was a picture or if it was a figment of my imagination. I had it on oh child, let me just tell you, no thank you, ma'am. Don't like dolls, never liked dolls, never will like dolls. I will never get on that ride, never step foot near that ride. I don't care. Even before I knew all of this, I knew something was going on, and I'm gonna tell you that right now. Next thing I want to talk to you guys about is the fact that Disney has abandoned parks. Now, when I say abandoned parks, I don't mean, oh, you know what, they were starting to talk about building a park and then, you know, they just decided not to do it. No, these are actual parks that you are not allowed to go on the land because it's abandoned and it's scary, okay? The first one is a water park, and it's called River Country, and no one knows exactly why this park was abandoned. A lot of people speculate that, you know, it was because there was some bacteria, like flesh-eating bacteria in the water, and guests were just swimming in it not even knowing, and that's why that the park had to get shut down. Or there's another thing that people are saying, which is really kind of scary because I wouldn't put it past them, that the government was buying these parks from Disney so that they can kind of be something very scary in the future. And when I say scary, I'm meaning like death camp scary. Like they were they shut it down because they were like, yeah, we need this land for the future when we want to build death camps. And I wouldn't put it past the government because the government hates us. Look what we're going through now, quarantine life. The other park is Disney's Treasure Island. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Treasure Island and River County or Country were kind of next to each other. They were supposed to be like a joint kind of opening thing. Kind of like, let's say like SeaWorld and like Aquatica. So they had like their main park and their little water park. I think that's how it was like. And Treasure Island was supposed to be like a wildlife observation park, where you learn and observe about wildlife. Probably something along the lines of Animal Kingdom, but like Animal Kingdom on steroids, kind of, because it had its own island. Next, urban legend or conspiracy, whatever you want to call it. It's like, I'm thinking about it and it's creeping me out. It's, oh my god. All right, anyway, this short video that depicts Mickey walking through hell. And when I say hell, don't expect like the fire and like skeletons dancing around him. No, it's like a regular city sidewalk that he's walking down, and he's like trudging down it, and in the back of the video you see like all these tall buildings, and he's just walking on the sidewalk, and he's like slouching, whatever. I don't know what the hell was playing in the background. Don't ask me, because I was scared and I did not put up the volume. All I was looking and listening to was the person explaining the video to me and like what was happening. So now he's walking, whatever, and there's supposed to be music in the background, by the way. So he's walking, doing whatever he's doing, and then all of a sudden the screen goes black. So now I'm thinking it's about to be a jump scare. So I'm like, bro, if something jumps out of me, I'm going to scream, bro. Nothing jumps out, but guess what comes back on the screen? The same video, but everything is distorted, and apparently there's like screaming in the background, and like the music's distorted, and it's just high profile creepy. Okay, so apparently there was a Disney engineer watching the video. I'm not sure if this was something they were going to release or like a uncut version of something, and he was watching it, or he just stumbled across it on the internet and just like watched it. But apparently he watched it, and after he finished watching it, he said something. I cannot remember the exact statement that he said, but it was creepy as hell. You guys can look this up. I'm sure it's on YouTube, it's on the internet. But he said something, and afterwards he killed himself. He committed suicide. And I don't know if this video is online anywhere. I did not have the balls to look it up or search it or try, you know, to look for it. So if you guys want to do that and let me know, you could do that. And if I don't hear from you, I don't know. I ain't saying anything, but I'm gonna tell you that for sure. And the next urban legend kind of conspiracy thing ties in with Walt Disney being a member of the Freemasons, who in turn control the Illuminati. Now, there is this club in Disney called Club 33. It's a huge exclusive club. The waiting list, you have to be invited, okay? You gotta be invited to join the club. And the initial fee to join this little Club 33 club is like $25,000 to like $100,000. That's the initial fee. And then every year, annually, you gotta pay what is it? I believe it's like $10,000 to like $11,000 you have to pay annually to continue your membership. I want to know why they're charging this amount of money, and then not everyone can be on it. They gotta invite you, okay? And the waiting list is like 15 years long. Honey, who's waiting 15 years to be on a waiting list? They're doing that as a cover-up. I'm telling you now, they're doing that as a cover-up because ain't nobody in their right goddamn mind is waiting 15 years to get on a waiting list. Connie, what are you people doing in there? I know exactly what they're doing in there, okay? Because those are they talking about the New World Order and everything up in that piece, okay? I know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you, because there is no way in hell people are just waiting 15 years to get into some Disney World club and paying $11,000 a year to be in the club and spending $25,000 to $100,000. No. Something's going on in there, okay? And they don't want anybody to know about it because ain't nobody really seen inside that club what it looked like. Because I don't know. Something's going on. You heard it here first, okay? And when Walt was alive, he was apparently a member of the Freemasons, all right? They was tight. He was a part of the group, all right? I don't like wishing bad on anybody or, you know, trying or being pessimistic, but listen. They know not the normal people, not the normal, regular working family, working class people are going to be able to afford that. So who is that club really for? Please. Just take a second, because not me. Probably not you who's watching it either. So you know what? That rests my case for that. Another crazy theory, okay, that surrounds the Walt Disney Company is the fact that they are said to use an abundance of subliminal messaging in their children's films. And when I say subliminal messaging, it's mostly sexual subliminal messages. In Lion King, I honestly, I haven't even watched The Lion King, like the original one, since I was younger. So I honestly couldn't even tell you if it's true or not. But apparently the stars in The Lion King, when Simba is speaking with Rafiki, and Rafiki is like trying to help him with his like midlife crisis, apparently the stars spell out sex. Don't know how true that is, but apparently people have showed pictures writing it out in the sky. And I'm like, ooh, that's a big no-no, Disney. I don't know, you people are making kids movies, so what are you doing? In The Rescuers, they got a really you know, they got a little bit of backlash, not a little bit, but a lot of backlash, because in one of the scenes there's an image, even though it's brief, there's an image of a naked woman in one of the windows. Not sure if she was getting undressed or what they tried to portray, but it's there. You could look that up on the internet. Of course, it's been, you know, digitally removed now because oh, I gotta fix that other eye because this one looks so much better. Also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, in that like car chase scene where Jessica Rabbit, like the inspector, and everyone gets thrown from the car, in like the original cut of the film, when Jessica Rabbit is thrown from the car, you could literally see her vagina just like on full display. And yeah, they got a lot of criticism over that, and they were forced to like remove it. Like, who in their right mind would even think to like do that though? Like, I don't want to call anyone out and be like you're a pervert, but like, really? Anyway, there is a big rumor and conspiracy going around that Walt Disney is actually cryogenically frozen. And that's a thing, okay? There are people, you know, who are actually cryogenically frozen right now as we speak. And, you know, a lot of people were, you know, kind of like, oh, Walt is frozen and he is buried beneath the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. This was my first time hearing that he was said to be buried under the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I had heard before that, you know, he may be frozen, and people have talked about this many times and believe it because apparently Walt was like super concerned with how Disney World would be without him, and if it would be as successful as it was if he were to perish. Imagine how Steve Rogers felt when he woke up after decades and decades of being, you know, in this frozen little chamber and waking up, and it's just such a culture shock. Like, you're not gonna know what to do. It's just gonna be uncomfortable. Why would you want to put yourself through that? Like, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Stop playing with the hands of fate, bro. Like, anyway, these apparently are the same people who are in the Illuminati, so you know what, it doesn't even matter to them. Whatever, do what you please. I'm not sure if this ride is like still like happening or like in effect. It's called America Sings, and this was also in the 70s. This cast member named Deborah, she worked on the ride, and it was kind of like a ride that like spinned and showed the audience different types of scenes with characters and costumes and all that, like a little play thing. But the set spun like 6 different ways, so like they could see 6 different scenes. So cast members would stand like on the side of the stages, and like I don't know if they would press a button or like give the okay for like the scene to, you know, go. I'm not exactly sure how this played out. I apologize in advance if I get some details wrong or totally like, you know. But anyway, I'm not sure if she was trying to fix something or help someone on the side stage, or maybe she dropped something. I can't remember exactly. But, okay, she went in between the little stage sectors, and I think they were run on timers or what. I can't remember honestly, and it sucks because, oh my god, I feel like that's such an important part of the story. Anyway, unfortunately, she was crushed between the 2 stage things, and you know, apparently she was calling out for help to like tell them to stop the ride before like the thing started turning, but no one could hear her over the like loud music and laughter and all that. And you know, it's just really sad. So now apparently she haunts that ride, and it's not like a evil kind of haunt. It's like watch out. Like, she is apparently known for telling stage members and cast members of the ride to be careful, which should get like, oh my god, that gives me the chills. Like, can you even imagine, like, god forbid, like you're almost getting into an accident or something and you just hear like some random voice, oh my god, saying be careful. Oh my god, I'm like tearing up. I can't even imagine. Like, do you know how much like like, that's probably so scary, but you're like so grateful too in the moment, because you're like, bro, like that is actually so sweet of a spirit to like do something like that. Like, rest in peace, Debbie. Like, it's really sad that that happened to you, girl, but I appreciate you looking out for other people. Like, that's the bomb.com. I honestly don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm just putting random stuff on my face. There's also been like some instances where cast members in like the suits have been accused of like groping guests when they ask to take pictures. I'm not sure exactly who went on trial, but I know someone who was in the Tigger costume went on trial for it. Don't know his outcome, but that's kind of crazy. Like, how are you gonna grope a teen girl? Like, aren't I supposed to be like in one of the happiest and most safest place on earth, and you're gonna come over here and grope me? I wish someone would. Child, listen, that'll be the goddamn day, let me tell you. Is this working out? Not even sure anymore. Anyway, this is so no bueno, but the show must go on. Disney knows all about that, huh? Disney does not want anyone dying on their property. And I get that. Like, I'm sure every company, every business doesn't want that happening, but apparently Disney goes to extremes to make sure that this doesn't happen. Apparently, people have said that cast members are famous for making sure that if people have accidents, to remove them from the park premises in case of the untimely event of death. Don't know how true that is. Again, these are you know, just conspiracy theories and just some urban legends. They're not set to be like book true, but you know, something to think about. I mean, it honestly wouldn't surprise me, not even gonna lie. Like they've done so many other things, and like especially in terms of their you know, employees and how they kind of, I don't want to say mistreat them, but I mean, they aren't treated the best. Like, it's not the happiest place on earth for them. But who am I to say anything? Do I work there? Hell to the no. So you know Disney will come for me for that. Talking about, you don't even work here. How do you know? Have you guys heard about any of the things that I'm talking about, like on the news, like death-wise? Because what am I, Mike Tyson? I would think that with Disney being such a like big corporation and all that, that these things are, you know, huge enough to be on the news and, you know, spoken about. And that's something that you gotta, you know, you gotta mule on a little bit, because why aren't we, you know, being told this? And I know why. You know, Disney doesn't want people like to stop coming to the parks, and they don't want, you know, to raise public fear, and I get it, but like, if stuff is continuously happening, what does that gotta say about you guys? Because that's a little bit confusing, okay? There was also something that said that Walt Disney was racist. I guess a short cartoon that he had Mickey wearing blackface and like acting like weird in the blackface, and I'm like, that's a no bueno, that's a no, honey. And apparently he was anti-Semitic too, so I'm like, is this true? Is this not true? If it is, shame on you. A rep for like Walt Disney came out and said that he wasn't any of that. But I'm like, no one just says that you're racist or anti-Semitic just because. You must have said some nonsense or did something that made them think that. And anyway, that's the tea. I didn't even think of my other conspiracy theories. That was pretty much all I had done my research on. This took longer than expected because this look came out like trash. Not that creepy. You could look it up because I looked it up. How the original mascots, like the costume people, look when Disney World first opened up. Who would want to take a picture with those people? Not I. Certainly not I, because they looked all types of crazy. It was like something out of a nightmare. And I really, honestly, I stand by that because it was scary. I can't even imagine like walking into a park to have fun and seeing the little mascot people looking like that. Like, that would just scar me for life. Sorry. I'm not exactly sure if all of them are true, but some stuff to think about, you know. We tried to do a little bit of like a blushy kind of look because the Disney princesses have blushy features, and we're gonna finish with a pink lip. It doesn't look that bad, but not a fan of this. Interesting. Okay, anyway, this is it, guys. This is the final look. We did a little bit of gold detailing in the inner corner. We did the little dolly lashes. The pink lip. We got a little blushy blush on the cheeks, and that Cinderella blue on the lid with the diamond sparkle for the shoes. For the clear glass slippers. My face has been breaking out disgustingly, but anyway. What else is new? Hope everybody is staying safe during this crazy quarantine time. Remember, guys, wash your hands. Practice social distancing. It's annoying to hear, but you know what? A lot of stuff is going down. A lot of people are getting sick and dying, unfortunately. And you know what? Just stay safe. You know what? It's fine. I hope that you guys learned something and hopefully go and look up some of this stuff because it is creepy as hell. I probably didn't even do it justice, but you know what? At least I told you about it, and you know some things maybe you didn't know before. Something ain't all the way right. Tell me what you think about this look. It got totally botched, like in the middle of it. But yeah, I'm gonna link all the products down below, so if you guys want to check them out, you can. And thanks again, guys. Until I can annoy you all again. Bye.